So let me just click on it, and you can see we are able to reach to that specific YouTube channel. So let me go back and let me click on it. So you can see it had opened it in a new tab, and my original page or original tab is showing the same thing. This is how we provide absolute path and relative path. Keep in mind, relative path depends in relation of your current position. If I click on this paragraph 1, I will reach here. I can click on this back to top, which will bring me to the top. Paragraph 2, I can click on this back to top. Paragraph 3, I can click on this back to top. Hey guys, I'm Amit Kumar and welcome to this video in which we are going to talk about links and bookmarks. Links allow users to move from page to page. So these are things that are clickable. So you can click on a specific link and move from one page to another page. When we move the mouse over a link, the mouse arrow will turn into a little hand, and then onwards we are able to click on that specific link. Anchor tag defines a hyperlink. So whenever you want to create any specific link in your page, now that can be an image, that can be a text. So that specific thing, that specific content should be placed between the anchor tag or a tag. Href is the most important attribute of the anchor tag, and with the help of href attribute, we specify the destination of that specific link. So whatsoever destination you are providing in the href attribute, clicking on that link will take you to that specific page. By default, in all browsers, an unvisited link is blue and underlined, a visited link is purple and underlined, an active link is red and underlined. So if there is any link on which you have not visited yet, it will appear in blue. If you have visited that specific link, then the color will change into purple, and an active link appears as red. All the links are always underlined. The target attribute specifies where to open the link document. With the help of href attribute, you specify the destination, but how to open the destination, where to open that destination is specified with help of target attribute. Now there are some specific values that we use with the target attribute. For example, _self. Now _self value to the target attribute opens the document in the same tab or in the same window. But if you specify _blank, then it opens the document in a new window or a new tab. _parent or _top is basically useful when we are having different frames of opening a specific page. So for example, if your current web page is opened in a different frame, then these two attributes are useful, otherwise they aren't. So _parent opens the document in the parent frame, and _top opens the document in the full body or in the whole window. Now when we specify URLs or when we specify links, so these URLs are basically the value that we specify to the href attribute. So we can specify the URLs in form of absolute URL or in form of relative URL. So when we say absolute URL, basically means that we are specifying the URL from the root address. It is basically used for external targets. So if we are building a specific website and we are targeting to some page which is not part of our own website, which belongs to some other website, that time we basically use absolute URL and we specify the whole address itself. But relative URL is basically for internal targets to any specific page that belongs to our own website, and that time we use relative URL in relation to the current position. So if you are on a web page A and you want to go to a web page B of the same website, then we use relative URLs, and here the URL is specified in relation to the current page address. You will understand it more when we will see that thing practically. Now bookmarks are useful basically for a huge or for a very long web page, And bookmarks are created so that readers can jump to specific part of the same web page. It is done in 2 steps. Here also we take help of the anchor tag itself. But in step 1, we create the bookmark first. And for creating a bookmark, we use ID attribute. And in step 2, we provide a link. And to provide the link, we use href attribute. For creating a bookmark or for providing a link, the tag that we will use is anchor tag itself. And make sure when we are referring to a specific ID of a bookmark, then we use hashtag to refer to that specific bookmark. It is useful if a web page is very long. So it's pretty much of talk, and now it's time to see the things practically. Hey guys, here we are on our VS Code, and let's add some HTML files for understanding links and bookmarks. So I'm creating my first HTML file over here, naming it as links1.html and providing the HTML basic structure. Now here inside this, I'm going to use the anchor tag or anchor element to provide the link, and I'm going to link to this specific YouTube channel, which is our proper Salesforce tutorials YouTube channel. So I'm just typing in over here like proper Salesforce tutorials YouTube channel. And if I will go and see the specific file, let me save this, go to links and bookmarks, and here is links1.html. So right now this is appearing as a normal text. The reason is I haven't provided the target link for this text. So that I can do with the help of href attribute. So within this href, I am pasting that specific URL, and this is actually the absolute URL. So let me just format it so that you can see everything over here. So here you go. So this is the anchor element. Now you can see the text or the link is appearing like this. Now if you remember, an unvisited link appears as blue, but right now actually I have visited to this specific link, that's why it is appearing to be purple. So let me just click on it, and you can see we are able to reach to that specific YouTube channel. So let me go back. So similar to that, you can create a link or a hyperlink to any specific channel or any specific website which you want. So let me just create another link over here, and that is for Google. So let me type in Google, and here within the href I will type in address of Google, so that will be google.com, and save it. Here it is. Now anchor tag does not change the lines, so if you will provide more than one anchor tag, then definitely they all will appear in the same line. So let me just put BR, and here they are appearing in 2 different lines. Now similar to that, you can create as many links as you want. Right now we have only used absolute link over here. I will show you how we can use relative URLs as well, but let's create another HTML page where we are going to see the target attribute. So I'm naming it as links2.html, and now I'm just copy pasting the code from this HTML to that HTML. I will use just one anchor tag over here, and let me open that file. So let's go back, let's refresh and click on links2.html, and here you go. When I will click on it, it will open Google on the same tab as you can see. But there are few target elements that we can use. So I'm just naming it as Google on the same tab, and let me create few more anchor tabs like that. So I'm just copying it and pasting it. Now the first one will open in the same tab. By default, it is the default feature of the anchor tag, but the attribute that is responsible for changing the target is the target attribute, and the value for the same tag is _self. So if I will save it, I'm going to click on it, and it's going to open there itself. So even if I won't make any change, if I won't provide any value to target, that will work similarly because it's a default target. But now I am going to make it to open in a new window or a new tab. So let me make it as on the new tab, and let me provide the target again, and this time the value of the target will be _blank. Let me save this and let me click on it. So you can see it had opened it in a new tab, and my original page or original tab is showing the same thing. Now there are 2 more target values that are _parent and _top. the underscore parent opens the document in the parent frame. So that is very handy when we are having multiple frames. Suppose a web page is there and there is a frame inside that web page. Then if we want to open it inside the parent frame, definitely underscore parent would be a useful one. And underscore top opens the document in the full body of the window. That is also helpful when we are seeing that frame one. So until unless we use the frame tag in our document, they won't be useful for us. Till now, this underscore self and underscore blank is mostly useful, and underscore blank is one of the target value that we use most of the times. Now let's see something about absolute URL and relative URL, and for that I'm creating another file known as links3.html. Now here I'm going to create two links. Actually, I'm going to create two links to the same file, links1.html itself. So I'm just creating anchor tag to links1.html file. But the thing is, I will provide actually one as absolute URL and one as relative URL. So let me show you that how we can do it. I accidentally changed the name to link3.html. Let me rename this to links3 and let me refresh this page. So here it is, links3.html, and now you can see it is showing two anchor tags without any href right now. Now I'm going to link to this link1.html. So let me show you the absolute path for links1.html, and this will be the absolute path actually. So let me go back and let me paste this absolute path. Now you can see the absolute path starting from the HTTP itself, then my server IP address, then the port number, and then the folder, and then it moves on. But if I will go and I will use the relative path, now the relative path will only be the file name for this one. And why it's so? Because links1 and links3, both the files are in the same folder, right? So if they are in the same folder, I can simply type in the name of the file and that will work. So let me show you that. Now let's click on links1.html. Here you go. Let's get back. Let's click on this one. Here you go. So they both are taking to the same place, but the first path that I have used over here is actually the absolute path, which is from the root itself. The second path is the relative path, which depends on the position of the current file. Now let me show you one more link, and this time we are going to link to this quotation, or let's suppose citation.html. Definitely we can open citation.html in two ways. One is the absolute path and one is the relative path. So let me put another BR over here. So let me save this. Now these two links should be for citation.html, but right now I am linking to this file itself. So let me change the href or hyperlink reference. So let me go back to quotation and citation, click on this citation.html, copy this path, come here and paste it. Now this is the absolute path for citation.html, but what would be the relative one? Now the trick over here is we have to give the relation with our current position. So our current position is inside this folder, so we have to go back one position from this folder, and to do that we have an option of dot dot and slash. Now this dot dot slash will take us back to one folder from our current folder, and I'm going to go to this quotation.citation, and then I'm going to use the relative path for citation.html. So this is the relative path in relation to the current position. What we have done with these two dots, we move back to one folder. So currently we were in this folder. With those dot dot we came to this folder, HTML crash course, and then we entered to this quotation and citation by typing in that folder name, and then we specified the file name. So let's see how it works. So let's go to links and bookmarks, click on links3.html, and let's click on it. So here you go. Let's click back. Let's click on this one, and here you go. This is how we provide absolute path and relative path. Keep in mind, relative path depends in relation of your current position. If there will be more folders at the back, we can use another dot dot and slash like this. So it will take two folders back and then it will move on. So this is very handy. So keep that in mind. Now the next thing that we are going to see is about bookmarks. So I'm going to create a bookmark.html. Now bookmarks are really useful in case of very big files. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to create few headings and few paragraphs. So I'm just typing in paragraph 1, and similarly I will create 3 paragraphs, and let me add those paragraphs over here. So which will be nothing but some useless or unnecessary text, just to show the length, or just to increase the length of the page. So let me add in that. So here you can see I have added few paragraphs. I'm just collapsing it. So there are 3 paragraphs actually, and I have just written I am paragraph 1, I am paragraph 2, and I am paragraph 3 to it. Let me open this file. So here is bookmark.html, and now you can see these are 3 paragraphs. So what I want is, on clicking on this paragraph 1, my reference should go to para 1. Similarly, I should have something to go back to this headings, right? I will click on this paragraph 2, I will reach to this paragraph, and there should be something to go back. And similarly, if I click on this paragraph 3, I should come to this place, and there should be something to go back. So now let's add bookmarks. So as I told you, bookmarks are added in 2 steps. First of all, we need to create a bookmark with help of ID attribute. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a bookmark in this para, right? So how I will do that, at the end of the para, I will add an anchor tag, and I will name it as paragraph 1, and I have to provide an ID to it. So I will add ID. So I am providing an ID to it as para 1, right? Now I will create a link to this. So in this h1, I will add anchor tag. Let me add this paragraph 1 inside this anchor, and I will provide an href which will refer to that bookmark. So I will use para 1, but when I am referring to it, I should use hashtag. So para 1, and let me just save it. Now this paragraph 1 turns into a link to a bookmark. So when I will click on it, I will move to this paragraph 1. You can see that, and there should be something to move back, which I will add later on. Similarly, I will add link to paragraph 2 and paragraph 3. So let me just do it quickly over here. So I'm just copying it, pasting it. This will be for paragraph 2, and this will be for paragraph 3. I will change the ID, so this will link to para 2 and this will link to para 3, and now I need to create similar bookmarks for these paragraphs. So let me just copy it, come to this para, at the end I will add this, name it as para 2, I will write it as paragraph 2. Similarly, I will add to this one. But in fact, instead of adding at the end, let me add in the beginning. So this will be para 3 in fact, for paragraph 3. And let me just move the previous 2 IDs to the beginning of the paragraph. So I'm just cutting it out, pasting it in the beginning, and so I will do for the first para as well. So now I have 3 links over here. If I will click on this, I will reach to paragraph 1. If I will click on this, I will reach to paragraph 2, and if I will click on this, I will reach to paragraph 3. And as I told you, there should be something to move back over here. So what I am going to do, for these 3 hyperlinks, I am going to create a bookmark here. So here these 3 headings are inside a bookmark. Let me name it or give it ID as top. From these paragraphs, I can create a link to go back to top. Okay, so what I am doing here is I'm just adding a BR, adding another anchor, name it as back to top, add another BR, and this will refer to href. This will refer to the new bookmark that I have created for the top. So that will be hashtag top. And similarly, I will create this link to these bookmarks in each paragraph. So let me just add a BR over here as well and paste. And the same goes for paragraph 3. Let me add a BR. So now if I click on this paragraph 1, I will reach here. I can click on this back to top, which will bring me to the top. Paragraph 2, I can click on this back to top. Paragraph 3, I can click on this back to top. So that's how we create a bookmark in a document, especially for big web pages, so that we can move inside the page by clicking on those bookmarks and link to those bookmarks. So guys, that marks the end of this video. See you soon in the next video. Till then, thank you and take care.